Now we are going over our guided practice for special right triangles. We have our first problem is a 30, 60, 90. All of our angles are labeled. So again, we start with labeling our hypotenuse, just across from our right angle, and our hypotenuse in a 30, 60, 90 triangle is equal to 2x. So we need to divide, hold on, we need to keep labeling first. And we're looking for our short side. So our short side is across from 30-degree angle. Take from the 30, go across. And that's our short side. And that is x. That means that the other side is our middle length side. That's x times the square root of 3. Now, when I go back to that 20 equals 2x, solve for x. So we're going to divide both sides by 2. And that gets us x equaling 10. So we know what x equals now. Now, anywhere we have x, we can plug that 10 in. So that means that our short side is 10. That a is 10. And that means that our middle length side is 10 times the square root of 3. So we just plugged that 10 in. So again, please, please, please label your triangles. Our next one, we've got a 30, 60, 90 triangle. Everything's already labeled for our angles. Start by labeling your hypotenuse. It's side across from right angle. And it's 2x. Then we need to look for our short side. Our short side is across from 30 degrees. And it is x. That means that this 15 square root of 3 is our middle length side, and it's x times the square root of 3. So we've got x times the square root of 3 equaling 15 square root of 3. When you solve for x, we divide both sides by the square root of 3. Square root of 3 cancels out on both sides, so that leaves us with x equaling 15. So now we can plug that x in anywhere we had x. So that means our short side is 15. And our long side is 2 times 15. 2 times 15 is 30. Our long side, our hypotenuse is 30. And our last problem on the guided practice. Again, we have a 30, 60, 90 triangle. Across from that right angle is our hypotenuse. And our hypotenuse in a 30, 60, 90 triangle is 2x. Then we need to look for our short side. Our short side is across from 30 degrees. And our short side is x in a 30, 60, 90 triangle. That leaves us with our last side being x times the square root of 3. We need to solve for x. So we've got x square root of 3 equaling 15. So we divide by that square root of 3 on both sides. And that leaves us with x equaling 15 over the square root of 3. Again, we're not typing that in our calculator because it asked us to leave our answers in simplest radical form. So we need to multiply by that radical, by square root of 3 over square root of 3. We're multiplying across, remember, so that gives us 15 square root of 3 over the square root of 9. 9, not 3, sorry. And then take the square root of that 9, and that's 3. So we've got 15 square root of 3 over 3. Then we need to look and see if that 15 is divisible by 3. And it is. So that gives us 5 times the square root of 3 x. So now we can plug that in to anywhere that we had x. So it goes in for our short side, it goes in for our middle length side. So our short side is just x, so that's 5 times the square root of 3. Our middle length side is x times the square root of 3. And x is 5 square root of 3. Now, some of you are going to want to tell me that's my answer. It's not. This is just x. We need to put that other square root of 3 right behind it. And then we need to multiply. So this is saying 5 times the square root of 3 times the square root of 3. Or 5 times the square root of 3 squared. And remember, we've talked about this, that squaring and square rooting are opposites. So this is just 5 times 3. And that's but that's 15. But that's extra work because I didn't need to do that because we already knew that that side was 15. So we were actually looking for C, sorry. We are going to take and multiply 2x. So 2 times 5 square root of 3. So when we're multiplying these, we're just multiplying the number in front of the radical. So that gives us 10 square root of 3. 2x, which is C. So again, make sure you're labeling your triangle. Side across from your right angle is your hypotenuse, 2x. Side across from 30 degrees. Your short side, it's x. And the other side is x times square root of